Welcome to Chapter 15 of Storming Babylon. In this chapter, we will continue to explore the exciting and action-packed world of this thrilling book. We hope you are enjoying the story so far and are eager to find out what happens next. As we delve deeper into the plot, we encourage you to immerse yourself in the exciting events that unfold. From thrilling action scenes to heart-pumping moments of suspense, Storming Babylon is sure to keep you on the edge of your seat. We appreciate your support and hope that you continue to enjoy the journey we have in store for you. Thank you for enjoying the story, and we look forward to sharing more with you in the upcoming chapters. Chapter 17: Horror and Understanding.
3 hours later, Dom and Jackie were sneaking around Chinatown, heading back to the temple where Madame Zhao was hiding. Dom stayed on the streets, hoping the crowd would provide cover. Jackie was having a great time swinging from banners and lampposts. Dom hoped the idiot was keeping an eye out as well. Whatever Madame Zhao had put on him worked. He rushed up the temple steps and came face to face with a bald guard who barred his path until they spotted his marking. The guard bowed and crisply moved aside to let him through. When they entered the secret chamber, Madame Zhao's eyes shot open and she gracefully assumed a standing position.
You are slow.
It was a stern, motherly tone addressed to Dom like he was some child late to dinner. Jackie shrugged and offered a wry grin.
Come on, lady, traffic was awful.
The woman rolled her eyes and held out an expectant hand, into which Dom deposited 14 rounds of ammunition with shining multicolor metallic tips. She looked at the rounds with abject disdain before shaking her head and muttering something in her native language. She coasted into the center of the magic circle drawn on the floor as she scolded the detective.
These are barbaric tools, Waiguru. I hope they will do, for your sake.
Dom took the moment to ask.
Why are you helping us?
She took time to assume a cross-legged position on the floor and arrange the bullets in a circle before her. When she finished, she answered.
Black magic should always be dealt with wherever it is found. Be it by a mighty witch hunter, reckless gumshoe, or lowly tea shop owner.
We prefer detectives.
Dom and Jackie shared a nod. Madame Zhao closed her eyes and began concentrating, arms angled away from her with her palms pointed upwards. She touched her forefingers to their partnered thumbs. Jackie, still full of questions, was about to badger the woman with every thought that crossed his mind before Dom knocked a fist on his head and gave him an exasperated glare. Dom was a bit skeptical, as he didn't see anything magical happen while he was waiting. Sensing his unease, Zhao opened one eye and sighed at him.
You must believe.
In what? Magic zombie killing coin bullets.
Did you know rice would work on them?
Well, no, but...
You must have faith in weapons for them to work. If you don't have faith in them working, they won't work.
Dom rubbed the back of his head in acceptance, if begrudgingly. He had heard of weirder things. He believed that bullets could kill people. The least he could do was have faith in their ability to stop a monster when a crazy Chinese mystic used them for a song and dance. After a few minutes, Zhao gathered the ammunition and gracefully rose to face the detective.
It is done.
Excited, Jackie gave a hop.
All right, boss, let's go blast some bad guys. Pow! Right in their kissers. Wait, boss, do zombies kiss?
Jackie assumed a classic zombie stance, arms raised, and putted around in a circle, moaning and making loud kissing noises. The detective sighed, wishing he could have adopted a cat instead of a pumpkin. Before Jackie had completed a circuit of the room, Dom had a clip loaded, pocketing the magical munitions. Zhao bowed deeply to both of them. Dom gave a quick salute before tapping Jackie on the shoulder. As the two of them headed back down the tunnel, Jackie turned and hugged the woman at her hip. She seemed embarrassed at the pumpkin's sloppy show of affection but pulled a small bag of coins out, handing it to Jackie before wishing him good luck.
Extra blessed coins never hurt. Protect your friend.
It took the pair a long while to get across to the shop again.
It was a short and cautious walk back toward the alley shop. Along the way, Dom grabbed a small sack of rice from a local vendor while keeping a wary eye out. No Jiangxi zombies. No sign of the man in red. The door was lying in a dozen pieces around the alley. The lanterns had been snuffed out. The place was quiet and dark.
Darn, boss. I was sure that nice guy was going to try to kill us again.
Jackie, people trying to kill you is a bad thing.
Dom motioned to Jackie to keep an eye out as he pulled out his pistol and crept into the back room behind the counter. Jackie shrugged, following behind Dom while holding one of his pant legs. The room beyond was a simple affair filled with a terrible odor. Jackie piped up after their cursory inspection of the place.
Hey, boss. I'm getting some bad vibes from this wall over here. I think there is some bad juju behind it. Gives me the heebie-jeebies. I mean like spooky skeleton stuff.
Dom rolled his eyes and started heading Jackie's way.
I get it, Jackie. Can you get any more descriptive?
Dom winced after the last words left his mouth. He realized Jackie would do just that.
It's like a pile of rotten pudding got stuck in a magic stew over here and went. More bad? It is like the bad smell of a terrible baby with that rotten pudding. You know, it's like that stuff you pull out of a shower drain.
Dom walked up next to Jackie and they stared at a rotten wood wall panel along a far wall. A brief investigation revealed a hidden door leading to a room with a desk at the far end and leather straps lining the rough wooden walls, the kind used in asylums or penitentiaries. There were enough sets to restrain 20 bodies. Each set had segments of metal chains littering the ground, along with scraps of long yellow paper covered in black runes. Dom walked to the desk, searching for clues. It had a bowl of foul-smelling blood and a small brush. The desk was covered in strips of more yellow paper. There were several copies of a letter on yellow paper, each incomplete or with errors. Someone had been trying to write a letter and had taken great care to get it right. A vial of black fluid lay on the papers, keeping them in place, along with a flesh-colored thimble with a pin. Behind it was an address, set on crudely drawn blueprints for a building with notes Dom supposed were made by a janitor or other cleaning staff. Along it was a series of cherry-picked blueprints of Babylon, each with a pair of symbols in the bottom corner, a strange octopus logo over a swastika. Fishy Nazis. That was a new one to Dom. As Dom tore through the desk, Jackie found an odd knot in the wall and jammed his thumb as hard as he could into it. Dom, ever aware of traps, realized too late what the seed-brained maniac was doing.
Jackie, don't dash.
The button depressed and the wall flipped up and away. An instant later, they were both assailed by a cloud of black flies and a horrid stench. Dom had to take a step back to escape it. It was awful, smelling of rot and death. Jackie was inside in an instant as Dom nabbed his whiskey and handkerchief. While Dom downed a few drams of whiskey to calm his nerves, Jackie poked around the dark chamber. Dom soaked his handkerchief and got it over his face. Once done, he peered inside, having only the low light from the storage room to give any detail. But what he saw. The place was thick with desiccated corpses, affected like those he had found in the morgue. Black ochre stained the floor and walls. Many of the rotten faces, frozen into terrible screams, had large nails spiked through their foreheads with tattered yellowed paper scraps hanging from the end. Some gnawed on, others were far worse. Dom felt light-headed and had to escape the entry. He swore he heard bombs dropping and bullets whizzing overhead, just like they had in the war. His vision doubled with similar terrible visions from those days. His senses were betraying him to his memories as his knees grew weak. As his vision was about to fade to black, he felt a cold touch on his arm. A tendril wrapped around his arm, sending a chill through his body like an electric shock. When his vision returned, he found himself face to face with Jackie. The embers burning inside his partner's head seemed to chill him to the core, but they had brought him back to consciousness. Jackie was looking solemn.
Got you, boss. You're good to go now.
Dom detached Jackie and rubbed the affected arm.
Jackie, what did you do to me? Never mind, what are we looking at here?
He waved his other arm at the pile of dead. Jackie scratched his forehead with a stray tendril as he thought out loud.
Must have been where the failures went, boss. The people in there were like the shower gunk left behind by the black gunk that feels like the draining stuff. Some folk just don't take well to magic. They kind of pop when you give them too much.
There are a lot of people here, Jackie.
Dom felt a mixture of sickness and rage battle in his guts. His emotions unsettled him, so he found a stack of crates to rest his hand on. They shifted a bit and he heard familiar tinkling from inside. Jackie had also noticed the crates, specifically the labels on the sides.
Who is Thompson, boss? That the name of our man in red?
The crates had been opened and left. Once the interior of the first crate was exposed, Dom felt his guts clench. Straw, a few stray .45 bullets, and bracing for what had likely been 4 Thompson trench sweeper machine guns.
No, Jackie, it's the name of a bunch of what's.
Okay, boss, so what are they?
Dom looked at the boxes, letting out a low whistle.
Bad news.
He remembered the newspaper from earlier families missing in Chinatown. Those corpses could be failed Jiangshi. It could have taken a while to figure out the magic, or whatever it was. Dom figured the yellow paper and what was written on it changed those people. It took the guy a while to figure out how to do it right, and he had a bunch of failures he just threw into the horrible hidden compartment. Now he had machine guns. It was all a well-planned, long-term operation, not some spontaneous thing. While Dom continued to ponder, Jackie managed to get them both outside and into the fresh air. Dom's brain was quickly back in action and in overdrive.
But why, Jackie? What is the motive here? If the zombies could use guns, they would have when they attacked us last time, right?
Don't know, boss. I'm just as lost as you. I kinda figured those things were just the muscle the gang kind, not the Shelly kind in the water.
Dom went for another hit from his flask only to find it empty. He lit a smoke as a poor replacement. He stared at the lit cherry for a long moment before something hit him.
Jackie, Koslov said they had just arrived on business and could not reach their morgue people.
Dom included Jackie more out of habit than because he thought the seeds for brains could contribute.
The Jiangshi black magic was responsible for rotting everything in there, but someone with a working brain had to guide them. I don't think the man in red cleans up. He feels more like a boss than an active agent. So, henchman.
Yeah, boss. That, or the guy has a great maid staff.
The man in red had a back room with maps of the Babylon, sketches of the place from top to bottom, and enough weapons to bump off a whole precinct of cops. The whole shebang laid out like he was gonna make a run at the place.
Yeah, boss.
And if Mr. Red is some sort of necromancer, he wouldn't be able to stay hidden forever. Especially with having to steal the corpses or make them himself. Eventually, Mr. Stein's people would notice and have one of the local powers take care of him. He would be upsetting the balance of power in the city.
Sure, boss.
So this guy puts together all this stuff and makes a strike team to take out the guy with a monopoly on corpses in town, as well as the system that would detect him doing anything. Once Stein is gone, he would have free reign in town, especially in the chaos of a supernatural power vacuum like that. The guy could have an army of the things fast and from all over town in days if he did as much prep as I think he did.
Sounds pretty bad, boss. But boss, no one is here. It's all been abandoned.
Dom's brain took a second for the obvious to hit him.
What did you say, Jackie?
Jackie dragged his boss back to the alley entrance.
Yeah, so, where is he going to find time to stash his Jiangshi when some big meeting is going on soon? You can't hide those smelly sacks under a trench coat, boss. Looks like there were lots.
The detective cursed himself and glared up at the cloudy sky. The good luck was there was an opening in the cloud cover big enough to show a nearly full moon. The bad luck was that the full moon was always the night of the underworld meet. It was the big get-together of all the creature feature power hogs and big wigs in the city, and they all met at Stein's place. If they bumped off the meet's mediator tonight, the following weeks would be a horror show with every faction going to all-out war to fill the power vacuum. Dom grabbed Jackie by the nearest vine and tore out of the alley.